Hey, welcome to my kitchen again. I'm Donna Miller. Glad you're with me. We're going to make a homemade, healthy Alfredo sauce. I'm saving them one serving at a time. Started out, and I've got slightly melted 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter and 4 ounces or half a cup of low-fat cream cheese. You can use full fat for sure. What's left of my grated Parmesan, which is almost half a cup. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic salt and some minced garlic that's soaked in olive oil, how you get it from the store. I'll explain why that later. And 2% low-fat milk. The milk was about to go bad. Needed to use it. So our tool is a nice deep saucepan and a whisk. That's all we got to have. So I am going to go ahead and cover this here and let it get back to melted. I started before I invited you. Sorry about that. So we're a little bit more melted now. You can see the steam, and you can see, let's get that lid off here. You can see the butter has finally melted. Excuse me. The new shell low-fat cream cheese here has not really melted much. It wasn't room temperature to begin with. You can, obviously, because I'm doing it, not too delicately, but you can do this without it softened. It works better if you let it out and let it get room temperature. But we're going to, there you go, dude, get off my whisk. We're going to let the heat do the work for us here. And part of the trick is to break these up into some smaller pieces, and it will speed the process of melting. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this. I only had this much cream cheese, and I wasn't going to use it on anything. And I only had less than a half cup of Parmesan cheese left, and I wasn't really going to use much of that either before I bought more. And definitely the biggest one is that my milk is approaching the best buy, use it quick date. So I wanted to use it up in some recipes before just freezing it, because I have enough frozen milk in the freezer as it is. That's why I'm doing this, and so you're coming along for the journey. So you can see, after just a little while of constant stirring, you can see it's starting to get stringy just a little bit. That's where you want it. You do need to keep it moving. This whole thing's not going to take you but 10 minutes. And you can make big, huge batches. You can make little batches, which I'm making a little batch right now, just because of what I have on hand, and rather than these little woods going to waste. See how soft and smooth it is now? You want to get to the consistency where it's a little stringy before you add in your Parmesan cheese. That's going to completely mess up the look. As you can see now that the Parmesan is mixed in nice and smooth. And the same trick goes, we start all over again, keep it moving before you do anything. Like, we're not going to go and throw, hold on a second. We're not going to go throwing that stuff in right now, because it will mask whether or not you have things smooth. So that's the reason you don't want to add anything chunky like your garlic first, because it'll mask whether or not you have things smooth. So we just keep working this. I got just the heat. We keep working this, and you can start to see how this starts to get stringy from that grated to now a little bit more of like a mozzarella, raw mozzarella, fresh pulled. It's much stringier than it is gritty. So it's just maybe a little bit fluffier than it was before with the two cheeses together. And I want to try to incorporate as much of this butter into it as I can. That's going to just make it smooth and creamy. And it's about time to add some milk. So I like to start out with the same amount of milk as I had for the other cheeses. So it was about half a cup of each of these. And when I start out with it, equal parts, 1 and 1 cheese, 1 cream cheese, 1 milk, and 1 Parmesan cheese. This is about the best way to start it. This will give you a good consistency, never too sticky, never too runny, and you can kind of adjust from here. All right, Now you can see how smooth everything's gotten. If I hadn't gotten the first two cheeses smooth, this would be a little bit gritty. And if I put that garlic in, it would be hard to tell if that was cheese grit or garlic grit. But this is the point we want to see it just kind of bubbling. Make sure your heat is not too high. Make sure everything is still moving. If it looks too thick, like it looks like it's supposed to be cold, add just a little bit more at a time. Maybe, I don't know, I guess that's about 2 tablespoons or so. Just kind of eyeball it. I know people don't like that, but sometimes it's all you can do. And it should look like you want it when it's on hot pasta. So you want to stop at the point of where you want it on hot pasta. Turn off your heat, which you just did, and then add your seasons. Garlic salt to taste, and then we're going to add the minced garlic. Now, if you did it before, you can, of course, saute. Hold up. Come on. Can you tell I don't edit my videos? You want to... Okay, behave. There we go. That's all I got in there. You want to saute your garlic in some oil before so that it's soft. Straight raw garlic into the cream base like this is not going to cook. It's going to end up being a little bit too bitter, a little bit too crunchy. So saute it first if you don't have the store-bought minced garlic. Okay, the heat's been off on this, and basically all I'm doing is combining everything and making sure that nothing sticks to the bottom. And that's about it. You can see that it's not stuck in the whisk anymore. And then we're going to take this and put it into a couple of small serving size worthy containers. And that way I can just take out the frozen small container to use. Okay, let's see if I can get this where you can see it. Yeah, kind of. First one's nice and easy because it's still very warm. Flows out nice. And you want to stop with some head space. We'll look at that at the end a little bit better. See? Ouch. Hot. Hold on. Let's do the other one before it gets cold. I am going to get my spatula, my handy dandy right here spatula, because I want to get all the goodness from around the side and make sure that I'm not wasting anything. And you can see as we get here towards the end of this, I'm scraping it off the sides, you're already going to have a little bit of thickening. As this cools down, it thickens quite a bit. That's okay. That's the stuff that clings to your pasta and clings to your chicken. Hold on, get this last little bit for itself with the container. There she goes. Nice. See how much that thickened up compared to the other one? I mean, it only sat for just a minute. Not even. Oh, very hot. All right. Put a lid on them. Make sure you've got head space. And right here, you can see about that much space for it to expand in the freezer. And it'll sit there for a while. And I hope you'll subscribe and get more dollar stretching tips for your kitchen here at Miller's Greenhouse. Bye.